Happens all the time. You see a bright and cheery show or movie or video game or what have you. It looks so kid-friendly, so innocent, and then wham, it hits you with a face full of sheer darkness. Encanto is no exception, and we're here to tell you all about it. What is the movie's darkest confirmed secret? What are some of the craziest fan theories about the film that might just be onto something? You'll hear all about it in today's video, so stick around till the end. Before we get going, here's a quick refresher on what happened in Encanto. The story centers around a family called the Madrigals that, after the tragic loss of their father, are left with a very special candle which creates casita, a sentient home for them to live in. And what's more, the members of the family are all gifted with magical powers to help further protect each other. That is to say, all of them get powers except the film's main protagonist, Mirabel, who strangely never got her gift. One day, Mirabel notices that the candle is starting to flicker out and the house is starting to crack. The candle and the casita here are effectively a metaphor for the state of the family. While largely harmonious, they do have a few issues that threaten to shake their foundation. Mirabel has some insecurities over not getting her gift, doubting that her grandmother thinks she's good enough for the family. Another key point of contention is their estranged relationship with Uncle Bruno. Bruno's gift was the ability to see visions of the future, which sounds awesome and really useful in theory, but it seemed like he only ever saw bad things happening. This led to him being resented by the community and even his own family, blamed for the visions as if he was somehow the one causing these misfortunes. This got bad enough to lead to a supposed exile, and his family became averse to ever speaking about him. You, may have heard the song before. As the tensions in the family worsened, the stability of the household weakened, but of course, by the end of the film, they're able to patch up their differences and, by extension, patch up all the holes in casita. That's the basic plot, and it's mostly a lighthearted one, but there is many a black shadow beneath the colorful surface. Word is, Pedro's death is even darker than we may have realized. There is no subtlety to the grim sadness that is the fate of Pedro Madrigal. The story goes that the family's village was being threatened by marauders one day. The script goes into greater detail than the movie proper in this case, telling of how Pedro looked into Alma's eyes with a look that said, "Everything will be okay," supposedly a look that continued to explain that her and the children would survive and thrive, find a better home and a better life. Gotta say, those are some surprisingly talkative eyes, or maybe mine are just unusually quiet. Pedro would then go out alone to try and make a plea with the marauders. They ignored him, and just like that, he was dead, killed in cold blood near a river. That locale would come up again during the climax of the story, as Alma would finally tell Mirabel about her grandfather's fate. At the time of the tragic event, we see Abuela Alma caring for 3 newborn babies. These triplets would be Pepe, Bruno, and Julieta. While it was always clear that Pedro died while his children were extremely young, director Jared Bush would confirm that this event actually took place on the day of their birth. This means that he had no time with them at all, leaving him and Alma no time to bask in the moment and, of course, leaving the children with no memory of him whatsoever. The proper movie really does spare you by not lingering so much on details like this, but never fear, we will never see fit to spare you any kind of trauma. You can always trust us with that. Haha, no need to thank us, really. But anyway, that was an objectively true secret of the film, and really, where's the fun in that? Let's delve into a place much murkier and more mysterious, a sordid area where the truth is never clear. Yes, of course we are talking about the dark world of fan theories. Mwahahaha. Let's go. Our first theory concerns the casita itself, which may have a dark reflection in the form of the real-life Disney family home. Now, right there, you might be a little bit confused. Which Disney family? The Parrs from The Incredibles? Maybe the Robinsons from Meet the Robinsons? The Taylors from Home Improvement? Wait, seriously? That was a Disney thing? Huh, well, no, it's not any of them. We're not talking about a Disney family, we're talking about the Disney family, as in the actual family of the real-life Walt Disney. Allow us to explain. See, in the film, the family lives at the casita. It's a magical home befitting its magical inhabitants, bestowed to them alongside all of their powers. It moves on its own, sometimes even in rhythm to a beat if a song breaks out. It's a character of its own in a way, as the family often speaks to the house and asks for its assistance. It provides security to all of those inside and is a home the Madrigals are very attached to, being something of a heart for the film, keeping the family together. The theory goes that the casita is a light reflection of an ill-fated house that Walt Disney bought for his parents after the hit success of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But after only a short time, a problem emerged as they realized the furnace was leaking. While Walt wanted to get it fixed, his mother didn't want him bothered with it and sought to take care of it herself. Sadly, the attempts were in vain, and one day the Disney family housekeeper stepped in to find Walt's parents, his father unconscious and his mother dead from the gas leak. It is said that Walt carried the guilt of his mother's death with him in silence for years, never willing to talk about it. The house that was supposed to protect them backfired tremendously. The casita, in stark contrast, seems to be everything that Disney hoped the home he bought would be. There's also parallels between Walt's mother and Abuela Alma. She too sought to take responsibility all on her own, to the detriment of her family, though she learned her lesson by the end of the film, and so the theory goes that the story is meant as a sort of wish fulfillment for the late founder of the media giant that produced the film. And for our other theory, what if Mirabelle does have a power, one that alters the reality of the world all around her? This is a fairly in-depth theory that supposes that Mirabelle might have a superpower of her own after all, and a very strong one, that of a reality bender who, much like her Aunt Peppa, controls her powers through emotions. The idea here is that when the time came for her to receive her gift, she was overwhelmed with irrational fears, the question of, what if I don't get a gift, stinging in the back of her mind. And then, when she touched the doorknob and received her power, that fear was turned into reality. The power was then strong enough to wrap everyone around her into it as well, and they began to perform out Mirabelle's nightmare of being a disappointment to her family. The theory supposes that, unbeknownst to even her, she is controlling everyone in the film, and it suggests as well that the songs in the movie are not the usual musical fare, but are real in-universe, and all of the colorful visuals throughout them are real as well, a symptom of her reality-bending powers. You might wonder why, if this was the case, that Casita would only start to break when it does, and not during Mirabelle's younger days. For that, the answer is said that Antonio is the only one to get a gift after Mirabelle was supposed to, and that seeing this may have been the straw that broke the camel's back, and the negative emotions from this set the events of the film in motion. This would mean that just about every bad thing that happens in the film, including Bruno departing from the family, were all unknowingly the fault of Mirabelle, and furthermore, it takes away all free will from the rest of the cast. It's a pretty dark idea, although, to be fair, it also reshapes the ending to perhaps suggest that she finally got a handle on her emotions and therefore her powers. So perhaps there is hope yet. And that is all we have time for today. Which of these secrets, or potential secrets, surprised you the most? How dark and scary do you think Encanto is personally? Do you buy into the theories we've talked about and have any of your own? Are there any other children's films or TV shows that you'd like to see us do a deep dive into? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below, and until next time, thanks for watching.